Hey everyone, this is Jessica of Into the Warren. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, this channel is all about knitting, crocheting, and I have a small indie dye, hand-dyed yarn business called Into the Warren. And I also share what I've been creating for the shop on this channel. My hand-dyed yarn business is less than 3 months old, but I can proudly say that as of yesterday, I have made 52 sales, which I think is pretty awesome for just, 10 weeks or so. So I want to say thank you to everyone who supports my channel and supports this little business that I started and has written really nice things about the yarn that they receive from me. So thank you so much. I know I said that I wouldn't be on for a while, and it has been a little while, but school has been pushed forward just a tad. I do go back next Monday, and then the students come back on the 24th. I am going back in person. The students all had just choices to make, whether they want to do virtual or go in person, and I've heard only about 50% of students are coming back in person. So the class sizes should be a bit smaller, which kind of puts my mind at ease a little bit, because as the art teacher, you actually see every single student in the school in the week. So the chances may be a little bit greater for special teachers who have to see the whole student population. So it has made me nervous, but having less children in the classroom at a time does make me feel a little bit better. Also, my administration at school is just so awesome, and they're doing everything they can to keep us safe, keep things clean, and get the school ready for these changes. So I am eager to get back to school because I do miss going to school. I miss having work. I mean, I'm working on dyeing yarn, but that is just like a side thing. I like to work. I like to go to work. I like to feel like I have some sort of goal. I'm touching the lives of other people. I'm trying to make the world a better place by educating, and so it's going to be nice to go back, but I am nervous. My grandparents on my dad's side both have contracted COVID. They are in their 80s, but they are doing okay. They're just waiting for the test to say negative before they can go home. My grandmother actually had to go to rehab because she got pneumonia, and my grandfather has other underlying conditions, so he's in the hospital. He's not eating as much as he's supposed to be eating, and they're a little nervous about that, so they've kind of kept him in the hospital for a little while. My parents did get sick, but they got tested and it was negative, so I guess it was a coincidence, either that or the test was not right, I don't know. But both of my parents work in a prison, and the majority of prisoners have contracted that virus, so they're trying to be as safe as possible, but it's really hard when you're confined with a bunch of people, a bunch of dangerous people too, and trying not to get sick. So it's been very stressful, and my brother's also works at a school. My other brother works in retail, so we're all around a bunch of people starting next week. So it is stressful, but I am happy to go back to school. The other thing is, yesterday I had to take some exams to get my official certification for teaching. So when you become a teacher and you didn't go to school for education, you have to take some classes and take some tests, and you have 3 years to do that before your temporary certification expires. Our governor's pushed it longer because of the virus, but I'm still trying to get it done within the original time frame. So I took my reading, my English, and my essay tests yesterday, and I was really nervous because it's been a really long time since I've taken tests for anything. But reading and English are my stronger subjects. So I was a little nervous, but at the same time I was like, if I fail this, I'm in really big trouble, because this is like the stuff that I know. But I did pass the reading and the English. The essay, a real person actually grades, so we can't get those results right away. So fingers crossed that that's good. So I'm relieved that that is through. And then it wasn't that hard or anything. I think the reading was harder just because the excerpts that you have to read are kind of boring to me. So you like lose interest. But then I'll have to take math. Math, I am so bad at math. I wish I could say I was good at math. I want to be good at math. I've never been good at math. And it's been 20 years, 17 years since I've taken a math exam and used algebra. I never took calculus or anything like that. I took geometry and algebra. I have to take that in November, so I'll have to be studying really hard because I've forgotten just about everything when it comes to solve for y, solve for x. It's just when I look at equations, my brain just can't compute it, and I wish it wasn't like that, but it is. So definitely going to be studying for math, and then I have to take an art subject exam. I hope that's easy for me. I don't know. They ask you questions about all types of art, and I'm not an expert in all fields of art. I'm not a ceramic connoisseur or anything like that. Ceramics and yeah, I guess ceramics would probably be the hardest for me just because I didn't do it in college and I just know basics. So we'll see. And yeah, and then after that, it's a professional exam just on the education side, which I don't know because I really only taught for 3/4 of a year and then went virtual and all this has happened. So maybe I missed some information, but hopefully that test won't be too difficult. And that's not till December, so I will have a few months hopefully to learn more about being a teacher. So anyway, once you get all those tests done and all your college courses complete, I have 3 college courses left. I'll have my certification and then it'll be good for 5 years. So, and yeah, and then you got to do a whole bunch of other stuff to keep it going. So that's kind of where I am on that. So I'm really proud that I got through those 3 tests. Okay, now I'm going to move on to actual knitting and yarn stuff. I have a lot, but I'm gonna do the best I can. I'm gonna start with acquisitions. So let me see. The first acquisition I got, so I've really been into knitting socks, and I haven't knit any since I've last been on because I have all of these other projects that I'm trying to finish. But I wanted to get some sock blockers. And if you don't know what sock blockers are, basically you knit a sock. When you finished, you wet it and wash it, and you put them on the sock blockers and they dry in the correct shape. So you're blocking your socks on an actual shape of a foot. So I purchased my sock blockers from a company called Knitting Left, and they make sock blockers to order. So if you want a specific design, they actually cut it and make the shapes out of it, and they have different designs. And it takes like 2 weeks or so. Well, it took about 2 weeks for me. I don't know what the norm is. And then they send it your way. So you get 2 of them. Obviously, you pick the designs. I picked these bears because I'm from the Adirondack Mountains, and bears always remind me of home. And I thought they were really cute and great for my little cottage, you know, because you have these holes. You can hang them up on your wall when you're not using them. So they cut all these shapes out, and I put my sock on here to show you. Of course, it's a really tall sock. But this is my Hermione's Everyday sock. This is a free pattern, and I used my Claude's Lilies colorway, which is cool because it has like this striping in it, and it wasn't even on purpose, you know? It just turned out really neat with the stripes. So my goal is to finish the other one, but I have some other things I have to finish first before I start this sock. But I really like these sock blockers, so it's Knitting Left. I will put a link to that shop in the description so you can check out their other designs and get some of your own if you're interested in knitting socks and you need blockers for that. And they're pretty reasonably priced, in my opinion, for the amount of work it takes to make them. So I have that. And then I got a bunch of yarn yesterday in the mail. So I've talked about this shop a few times in my videos over the year or so. There was a local yarn shop in Chattanooga, Tennessee called Genuine Pearl, and I visited that shop when I went on vacation with my family. I think it was last year, a little over a year ago, and I was like totally in love because it was my first time in a local yarn shop. I had always just known yarn from Joann's and Michael's and stuff like that. And then going to the local yarn shop was like, it opened my eyes to the fact that there is other types of yarn out there that I didn't know existed. I didn't know really what hand-dyed yarn was. I didn't know the different types of wool and textures and all that kind of thing. And so I went there and I bought a couple balls of yarn. Well, and I've just always been in love. And whenever I need yarn from that shop or want to buy from that shop, they were so awesome. You could just message them on Facebook and be like, hey, do you have any of this? Can you ship it to me? And I'd call and pay, and they would ship me my yarn in like a couple days. And I did that a lot during the pandemic. One, to support small business during a really like difficult time for small businesses. And two, it's just the customer service is like just top notch, and their selection was amazing. Like the number of different types of yarn they carried is just incredible. Well, unfortunately, because of this pandemic and their lack of business, they also only let, like, once things started to open, they only let a couple people in at a time. And it's kind of, it slowed their business down, and it slowed their sales down, and they ended up having to close. And it's really sad because I just love that shop so much, and it's so sad to see a local yarn shop close down. I know that that has happened to other yarn shops since all of this has happened. So it was really sad. The last few weeks that they were open, they closed last Friday. All of their yarn was half off. All their yarn, all their like, I don't know if their needles were half off, but they were discounted, heavily discounted. They were giving away mannequins and Swifts and all sorts of things. And I wanted to kind of like, they posted pictures of what they had left. And I was like, let me at least invest some money and some yarn from them, because number one, it's a great price. And number two, it's like helping them get whatever funds they can get before they close. With all that being said, I bought some sweater amount of yarn. I can't talk today. I got the Barocco vintage yarn in this color here. Now they don't have names, these Barocco vintage. They don't have like dye names. This is color 5114. It's like this light, it's actually a slightly darker than what you see on the screen. It's more purpley, but I got these. Originally, I believe these were like $11. I have the receipt somewhere. I'll find it. Oh, is this it? Okay. So the vintage Barocco, see, I got 8 Barocco vintage, and originally that would have been $72. But they were 50% off, so I got 8 of them for $36, which is really good. And so yeah, these are worsted weight. They are 52% acrylic, 40% wool, and 8% nylon. They are super soft and fluffy. And what else? They're made in Peru, and there's 218 yards per hank, and that's 100 grams. So I really do like this yarn. I have this yarn in a different color, and I am gonna knit some garments with the 2 colors that I have, but I just have so many projects that I'm just trying to knock out. It's like there's too much to knit and not enough time in life. So I'm trying to get some stuff done. But I got 8 of these. So they sent me 8 of those. So let me get these out. I wanted the darker purple, but they were all out. They didn't have enough. And then, this is really exciting. So they posted that they had Fiber Company yarn, and I follow a channel, and I can't think of her name. I think her name is Alex Collins, I'm pretty sure. She has a knitting podcast, and she also works for the Fiber Company, and she's always showing like really pretty yarn from them. And I've never bought yarn that brand before, but Genuine Pearl had them for 50% off and I jumped on it. So the fiber company, this is the Luma base and it is DK 50 grams. It's 50% wool, 25% cotton, 15% linen, and 10% silk. And it is so pretty. The texture is so cool. I got the color Violetta, which is like this purplish blue textured colorway. I am so, when I saw this, I was like, why didn't I buy this yarn sooner? It is so pretty. It's like the prettiest solid, semi-solid color that I have ever seen. Like, it's gorgeous and it's very light. It's very soft and it's got that rustic look to it without the scratchiness. I am so in love with this yarn. Like, so in love. This Luma is so pretty. And I saw this wonderful cabled cardigan that I think I'm gonna make using this yarn. I bought more of these because they have they're 50 grams. I bought 10 of the Luma. Originally that would have been $115 for 10 of them. They're like $11 and something cents a piece, but they were all 50% off, so they were $57. $57 for some fiber company yarn that's silk and cotton and linen. But I got 10 of those. It's like, they're gorgeous. I can't wait to knit with these. So I got all those. So those were the two colorways that I purchased from Genuine Pearl before they closed. I'm so sad that they're closed. And I wish I had bought more, but I was kind of on a budget too. Excuse me. All right, so those are my acquisitions. Let's talk about finished objects. I wish I could show you this finished object, but it is a test knit for someone else. And I'm not allowed to show the whole project done yet until August 15th, which is in 11 days. And I'm sad because it's so pretty. It's a shawl pattern, and when it's released, I'll be able to show the whole picture, but I want to show you a piece of it just to show you my yarn that I use. This is my own dyed yarn. So here is, of course, my hair is on it. Here is a piece of it. This is two of my hand-dyed colors. The green is my North Creek colorway, and the white is Ghost, which is one of my fall colorways. And I'm just so in love with how they blend together, and I can't wait to show you the whole thing. Now you can see some progress photos on my Instagram, and you can get a general idea of what it looks like, but I had never knitted with my North Creek colorway. It was one of the first colorways I dyed with fiber acid dyes, and it's just, and I love Ghost because Ghost is like a neutral, and it just looks so pretty. So let me show you what the balls of yarn look like. So here's the North Creek. It's, the majority of it is green. There are blues and pinks in it, but it's just like a really pretty woodsy color. And I love green anyway. If you look at my wall of yarn that I've dyed, the majority is green, and I don't mean to do it, but I just love green so much. And here's my Ghost colorway. So there is like hints of like this mauvey pink in it, but the two of them together, it just made such a beautiful shawl. And I love this pattern. When it gets released on the 15th, I'll talk about it so that you can go buy the pattern because it was fun. It has beautiful texture, and you just use 2 colors of DK weight yarn, and I love it so much. I can't wait to show you the final result. So I have that. And I am working on I'm finishing my sister-in-law's gift today. I worked on it this morning before my daughter woke up, and that is my goal for the rest of the day, is to finish it completely and block it. So I can't show that, but it will be done. And okay, so let me talk about what's in the shop that's new. First thing, I haven't shown these on camera yet, but here are project bags that are in the shop. This one is Bumblebees. It has a green interior with a bumblebee pocket. These are made by me, but the pattern is owned by Indigo Bird Design from Etsy. And it has handles and a drawstring and a box bottom that's in green. So I have a bumblebee one. This one's about 11 by 11 in size. And then I have this one is 11 inches wide, but I believe it's 9 inches tall, so it's more of a rectangle. But this one has mushrooms on it. It's green inside as well, and it does have a pocket, handles, and a drawstring. And it has a green box bottom as well. And then the last one is a mini mushroom bag. This one would be great for socks or like a scarf or mittens or a hat, some smaller project. It is a box bottom, but it is not in green. It's just a solid, it's just the mushroom fabric, but it is green inside, no pocket. It's too little for a pocket, I would say. But it's a cute little bag that you can take in the car with you. You know, just, it's easy to carry around. You can stick it in your purse, and then you can just work on some littler projects when you're out and about. So I really like this little bag. But all three of these bags are in the shop, and I have Halloween bags, like they're like 75% done, but I haven't worked on them in the last few days because I've had other things going on. But I do have some Halloween bags that are coming out. One has black cats, and then one has black cats and pumpkins, like vintage looking Halloween fabric, and the inside has orange and black plaid. So they're really cool, and I will get those out as soon as possible. I really enjoy, well, that's not true. I like to sew, and I know the basics of sewing, and I like making bags sometimes. I get that urge to sew, but it's not like knitting where I love to knit all the time. Sewing, I get tired of it after some time, and I have to like go do something else. I'm just not a natural sewer, but I do like to sew once in a while. So once I finish some of these whips, these knit whips, I will go back and finish my bags. So that's that. Let me talk to you about yarn in the shop. So those bags are in the shop. I don't know if I said that. I have some new colorways, and they're all in Blueface Leicester, which is a British wool, a British sheep wool, and they are my new love, okay? I know we all love merino. I love merino. I really do. But Blueface Leicester, the BFL yarn, is so gorgeous. I'm like so in love. I don't want to die on anything else. It has a shine. It has that rustic texture, but look to it, but it's soft. It is soft. It's not scratchy to me at all. Maybe, you know, but some people do have more sensitive skin, I guess, but it's no way typical wool scratchiness. These are super wash BFL too, so you could wash them in the washing machine. I don't wash anything in the washing machine that's knitted because I'm scared. So that's up to you, but I seriously think you could mix any type of color together and these would be beautiful. It could be like the ugliest color known to man, and this yarn just makes it look gorgeous. So let me show you what I have in the shop. Some of these have already started to sell, so I might only have a couple left, but it's like this one. I think I only have 3 of these left. This is one of my new colorways called True North, and it is a very earthy blend of colors, browns, some green, some yellows, little hints of blue here and there. But this is the True North. This has been a very popular colorway lately. I have sold quite a few, but I do have a few left. This is in DK. I don't think I have any in fingering, just in DK. So if you're interested, these would make beautiful gloves. You could make vanilla socks because there are DK weight sock patterns. Great Grand's sock recipe is one of my favorite sock patterns. They would make beautiful hats, shawls, all that kind of thing. So yeah, these are in the shop, True North. They don't have labels on them yet. These strings here are just to tie them. They must use cotton string to tie these because they don't dye. So then they're just like these bright white strings sticking out of your hanks. So I got that. in the shop. And then I have, by popular demand, I have re-dyed the En Plein Air Colorways. These are just really fun, colorful color. It's a really fun, colorful colorway of a variety of colors. And yeah, I think I have sold a few of these, but I do have a couple left. And again, these would make awesome hats, gloves. They could be a part of a shawl that has some solid or semi-solid colors with it. I think these are just really pretty and colorful and fun. So I have some of these. I think I only have them in DK. Yeah, I believe so. DK. Okay, and then let's see what else. Okay, I think all that's left. So I'm not doing an Advent Christmas this year. This is my first year in business, and I don't want to overwhelm myself, especially with school starting again. But I have and will create Christmas colorways or holiday colorways for the shop. And I started doing that this past weekend. And I've already sold a lot of it, but I will re-dye as needed. But I wanted to show you what I have created. The first one, these are also on BFL. Hold on a second. This is I picked up the sock weight, but I do have these on DK weight as well. The first one is more of like a traditional holiday kind of colorway. It's red and green, and it's called Holly Heart. And again, this is on the Superwash BFL. So here's Holly Heart. It's like an earthy green. If you hear snorting, it's my dog. He's snorting and looking for food on the carpet. He's something else, I tell you. Anyway, so this is Holly Heart. It has these bright reds, some like darker grayish blacks, and some earthy greens. And I have sold a few of these already, but I do have some left. I might only have one DK left and 2 socks. These would be awesome Christmas socks, or a cowl or something beautiful like that. So I have these. Holly Heart is what it's called. And then, if you knew me in real life, you would know that I love knickknacks and old grandma stuff. And I say old grandma stuff with all of the love in the world, because I'm telling you, I should be an old grandma at this point. Like, that's how I feel in my mind. I love, I just love little like knickknacks all around my house. I have too much stuff in my house. And my style, even though I love like fine art and fancy art and museums, I also like kitschy stuff, you know, stuff that's just fun and decorative. And so I thought I should really make a colorway for Christmas that's like kitschy Christmas, like, you know, those retro, you know, over the top decorations that you can find at the thrift stores, or you know what I mean, that you put in your house during Christmas time. So I made kitschy Christmas colorway. So this one has like those retro-y reddish pinks and greens. There's speckling, and they're just like this like almost pastel-y type of colorway. I think I only brought 2, but yeah. So this is my kitschy Christmas. I think I only have 1 of these left in fingering, and I have 3 maybe in DK right now. But again, if you really, really want to order any yarns that are low in stock, let me know and I'll be happy to do a pre-order for you and get those out to you. But yeah, this is my kitschy Christmas. And of course, remember, any of these yarns, if you're going to use more than one skein, make sure that you're rotating skeins so that they blend together and it doesn't show like major differences. Like you can tell like you changed yarn, because they're all gonna be slightly different when they're multicolored like this. This isn't a Christmas one, but it's more of a fall colorway. And again, this is on BFL, and this is called The First Chilly Day. And you can see that this is like, this almost looks like sea glass to me, but it's supposed to be like these fall colors with like a hint of so the warm versus the cool, you know? And you can see on this one's more like gold dominant than the other. And that's, again, that's why you would rotate skeins. Sorry, my dog is like licking his feet. Oh my goodness. And all I hear is snorting. But you would rotate these skeins so that they would blend together if you're going to use more than one. But again, it's like more of an earthy color, but it's lighter and softer. You can see the strings holding it together, but yeah, it's a very soothing color to me. And these are in the shop. I think I have them both on DK and fingering weight. And all right, the last offering that I have in the shop, which is not holiday related, is I have decided to make some Labyrinth mini skeins so you can get the whole set of colors. And I haven't closed this or put a label on it yet, but here, without reflecting the light, here is the mini skein set. It's 4 25-gram worsted weight skeins. And I was like, should I do worsted weight minis? And then I was thinking of like all the possibilities of minis, of worsted weight minis. You can make a cool hat, you can make mittens, you can make socks. There are plenty of worsted weight socks, slippers, that kind of thing, cowls, all sorts of stuff. So this is 100 grams altogether, and you can see, hopefully, this is, I said Hello, which is inspired by the worm in the Labyrinth movie. This is Rock's Friends, this is Turn Back Sarah, and this is Between the Stars. So I do have a few of these limited edition colors available in the shop. So if you want to get your hands on this set. Also, another cool thing is you can use these colors as color work. So let's say you had like a neutral sweater, you could do some of these solids as some of the color work in it. And it can just be collectors too. So anyway, I have that available. I think what I'll do is I did set some aside so I can make a pattern. Or not make a pattern, but find a pattern that would work for these skeins, so I can show you like the possibilities of what you could do and show how they work together. Because I think sometimes you don't know what something's gonna look like until you knit it, you know, or crochet it. So those are available in the shop. And then the last thing I'm gonna tell you is I have another test knit shawl that I'm going to start, and it's due the 30th of August, I want to say. So not long from now. And it is a secret. Like I can't show you anything about the pattern. I can't show you works in progress until it comes out. And I actually think it's going to come out in a magazine at some point. So I can't show you that. But I will tell you about the yarn I'm choosing for it. So it is a shawl, I can say that. And it requires 2 DK colors. And because of the detail in the shawl, it's recommended that you use more of a tonal color instead of speckled. So I was thinking about what colors I wanted to use after I saw what it would look like. And I dyed up this colorway here, which is like a lavender. It's actually more purple than the camera shows. It is a lavender gray, semi-solid tonal colorway. And I have some ideas for the name of this colorway, but I haven't quite accepted it yet. I don't know, I'm still thinking. But I really like how light and soft this color is. And I did dye extra to put in the shop, but I haven't put them in the shop yet, but I will. So it requires 2 skeins of DK in 2 colors, so 4 altogether. So I picked this. And then this is not dyed by me, but I have this left over from my Love Note sweater. And it is this Illimani Santi ultrafine merino, baby alpaca, yak, and mulberry silk yarn. So it's like this golden, or it's called orange, but it's like a golden orange really. And I am going to take these 2 colors together. So this is going to be like the body of the shawl, the main color. This is going to be the contrasting color. And I showed my husband because I thought maybe he would say, oh, you're making an LSU shawl. Because every time I pick colors, he like associates them with football teams. but he didn't really even catch on, so that was cool. But anyway, so these are my colors. This is a string that I'm gonna use, and I really love this Illimani yarn. It's very soft and it worked great for my Love Note sweater. The only thing I can say about it though, and I'm sure it happens to all sorts of yarn, is it does pill. So I mean, you have that, but other than that, I love it. So I'm gonna use the rest of, I have like a few hanks of these, and then I have 2 of these ready for my shawl. So once I get my sister-in-law's project done today, this will be one of the next things I do. I also have to finish a sweater and a sock and all that jazz. But I think that's really it. That's a lot. I think that's enough. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I come on here sporadically, so who knows, but I think the best way to like stay updated is my Instagram, which is linked below. It's in the number 2, The Warren. And I also have a Facebook page, Into the Warren, like into INTO. And that's linked below as well. And yeah, so I hope you enjoyed, and I will talk to you later. Bye.